Welcome back to another episode of the Ark Switch Survival Guide. Today we are going to teach you the best way to get crystal on Ark, specifically the best and most efficient way to gather easy crystal from the southern side of the island on Ark Switch. We're going to show you where to find huge quantities of crystal, which should give you all the crystal that you need for your Ark Switch adventures. We're also going to show you how to use an Argentavis and Ankylosaurus team to effectively and efficiently gather crazy amounts of crystal between the two of them. And we'll also teach you about carrying and weight reduction between this team and how to most efficiently carry the weight of crystal and metal between an Ankylosaur and Argentavis team, which will maximize your efficiency for gathering stupid amounts of crystal. We're also, as an added bonus, going to show you the plants that you can use to get rare flowers from the mountain biome. So be sure to watch this whole episode. It will be really helpful. Now, before we fly up to gather the crystal in the redwood forests, let me show you all of the crystal deposits on the island map and the most efficient way to get them. So our main base is down here in the south, and there is actually a little bit of crystal you can get on Metal Mountain, which is right next to our base. There's also some crystal here on this other mountain, and you can see the latitude and longitude of each of these spots right there on the screen. Now, there's a couple spots that show crystal like this one, but there's not actually any crystal I could find there. But this spot right here in the middle of the redwoods is an amazing place to get tons of crystal. There is so much crystal up here on the middle of that mountain. And as you can see on this map, there is hardly any crystal south of the volcano. So that's a really good, efficient spot to go if you happen to have an Argentavis. Now the volcano is loaded with crystal, and you can get tons of crystal up here, but it's really dangerous to go up there. And then these other northern mountains have just crystal deposits all over the place. And this northwestern mountain is the best place to get obsidian, crystal, oil, all that good stuff, but it's real dangerous and real cold up there. So we're going to focus on this mountain right here. Now this mountain is incredibly easy to find because it's just right smack dab in the center of the redwoods, which are in the center of the map. You really can't miss them. Now if you want to find any resource on the entire island map, I'll put a link in the description to my guide where I showed you how to do that, and it's very helpful. I highly recommend watching that if you have not seen it yet. So we started by swooping down with our Argentavis and using the left trigger to pick up this Ankylosaur. Now the Argent can carry smaller dinos in its beak, but Ankylosaurs are just too big for that. But the good news is it can still carry them very effectively, especially if you have a lot of weight on your Argent. Now I will teach you all about weight carrying capacity on an Argent and Ankylosaur team in this video. And while I'm flying up to the Crystal Mountain, I'll tell you a little bit about that. So the Ankylosaur actually reduces the weight of metal in his inventory by 75%. But the interesting thing is, if an Argentavis is carrying a dinosaur, it only adds a certain percentage of the dinosaur's weight to the Argentavis's weight. So if you've got an Ankylosaur carrying metal, it reduces the weight a lot, and then having the Argent carry the Ankylosaur reduces the weight even more. So we'll show you a little bit more about that in a second. So here is the Crystal Mountain. It's right in the center of the redwood forest, and it's a great spot to get crystal. And then in the background you can see the top of the volcano, which is an even better place to get crystal, but it's very hot up there and it's really hard to get up to the summit unless you can fly there. So I'm going to put this guy down for a second. And I've just been looking around to make sure there's nothing dangerous on this peak. There are dinosaurs that will spawn up here, so I want to make sure everything is clear. And it looks like we've got some Argents down there below us, and I saw some scorpions earlier. And off to the side, we can see a T-Rex in the distance, and I think that's an Alpha Raptor stuck underneath him. I don't know, that was pretty weird. So we will stay far away from those guys. But this section up here is very safe, it looks like, and usually there's not a lot at the very top of this mountain. And it looks like our new Ankylosaur already has a level up, so I'm just going to keep buffing up his weight. And this guy is going to be exclusively gaining weight ability for his stats, so he can carry more stuff. So an Ankylosaur gathers much more crystal than you can with your pick. It's like seriously multiplied. And the more you increase an Ankylosaur's melee damage, the more crystal you get per crystal node. So hopefully I can breed this male and then my other female that I have to get super babies that have really high weight capacity to carry a lot and really high melee damage so they can do a lot of damage and get a lot of crystal per swing. Now another thing to keep in mind is we can get stone anywhere, so I don't want any of the stone or flint that's on this guy. So let me show you a little bit about weight, because that's going to be a big factor in carrying stuff back here. So I've got the Ankylosaur on the Argent, and you can see right now he has 306 weight in his inventory. So the Argent currently has 306 weight when he's carrying the Ankylosaur. Now I think it would weigh quite a bit more if it was just carrying that normally. But the Argentavis has a 50% weight reduction for all crystal. So I'm going to put all of the crystal into the Argent's inventory. And let's go ahead and put the metal in there too. I'll show you something else too. So crystal is going in the Argent's inventory, since the Ankylosaur does not reduce the weight of the crystal. And let's go ahead and pick him back up and see what our weight looks like. Looks like I missed him for a second. Hold on a second. It takes a second before you can pick something up again if you miss them with the first grab. And there we go. I'm still getting used to this. Now, we used to be 306 weight, and now we are 223 weight, which is a serious reduction. So remember that was 223 weight. We have just a little bit of metal on the Argent's inventory. So if I pull the metal out from the Argent's inventory and put it on the Ankylosaur, the weight of that metal will be reduced by 75%. Now the Argent already reduces the weight of metal by 50%, so it only reduces the weight an additional 25% to put it on the Ankylosaur's inventory. But because I am now carrying the Ankylosaur, it's reducing the weight even more because the Argent only picks up a percentage of that weight. So that's one of the really cool things about having an Argent and Ankylosaur team, is the two of them can drastically reduce the weight of just about everything between the two. So that's going to be really helpful. Now, this guy's got another level up already, so I'll just keep beefing up his weight to make it so that he can carry an even larger amount of metal on this Ankylosaur. So that's going to be really helpful. And once we get these guys breeding, I'm going to have super Ankylosaur babies that come out, and we should be able to eventually carry an Ankylosaur over to Metal Mountain from our base and just grab almost all the metal very quickly and efficiently. And we'll be getting like, I don't know, 7 times as much metal because the female Ankylosaur we have has a crazy high melee damage stat. Now that little red plant that I just picked up is the plant you can get rare flowers from up here on the mountains. And if you see those red flowers, it's worth grabbing those and just seeing if you get any rare flowers from them. So we'll drop the rest of this crystal on the Argent's inventory. And I'm going to scout around one more time, because another great thing about the Argent side of this team is an Argent can do a lot of damage from the air. So if I see anything coming up the summit to attack us, I can first of all, for most smaller things, just pick it up and drop it off the edge of a cliff. So it looks like we got some good crystal down the summit a little bit, and I'm just going to scout a bit and see if there's anything dangerous right in the near vicinity. And we seem to be okay. The T-Rex is pretty far down the slope still, and I'm a little bit worried about scorpions, because they can climb pretty well and they can go up very steep slopes. And I did see a couple of those over here, but they're easy enough to just fly over and drop off a cliff, and that makes some pretty quick work of most dinos. So we've got some more of these rare flowers on the very top of this mountain. And if I wanted to get a good amount of rare flowers, I would want to come up here and carry a gathering dinosaur like an iguanodon, or, even a parasaur is decent for doing that. But just grabbing them by hand, it's very rare to get a rare flower. Go figure, right? But if you've got a gathering dino, you can get quite a lot of them. And iguanodons are a great way to get tons of rare flowers if you're harvesting them. So here we go, we're smashing down another huge set of crystal, and we're also getting a good bit of metal while we're doing this, because we're hitting the metal rock, which is a rich metal deposit. Now, once again, I hope I can still reach him. Yeah, good. That slope was a little bit worrisome. Now, once again, I've got quite a lot of weight on this guy, and since we can get stone and flint just fine from the ground, I'm going to focus on getting just the crystal and maybe a little bit of metal while we're up here. So let me offload that back onto the Argent. And once I've got an Ankylosaur with a lot of melee damage, I should be able to get 2 or 3 times as much crystal when I come up here. It'll be a very fast, efficient way to do this. But in the future, I actually want to make a greenhouse for the top of my base and turn that into a nice rooftop garden like I have on my raft fortress. And that way, when we're at home and the raft fortress is away, like, where it is currently in the swamp, we can just have tons of vegetables right there within arm's reach, and having a greenhouse on top actually multiplies the amount of resources that you get, which is very helpful. And I gotta say, this guy is just leveling up like crazy, which is awesome because I want to breed him pretty soon, and the more weight he gets, the more likely we are to get babies with crazy high weight and crazy high melee damage. So we keep getting this guy overweight because he's still gaining weight. Gotta love that, right? This is one of the few times when gaining weight is incredibly helpful. So we are just going to keep grabbing as much crystal as we can get, and I think we'll probably have enough for a good-sized greenhouse now. It doesn't take stupid amounts of crystal to make a greenhouse, and yeah, he's got a lot of metal on him too, so we'll just keep chucking all of the stone that we don't want, and looks like I can still move with this much crystal on me, which is great. So look at that, we got something like 600 crystal on this guy, which is pretty awesome. So we'll just knock off the rest of that metal, and while we're up here, we've still got some weight capacity left, so I may as well get some good metal while we're here. And we'll do a full metal run on Metal Mountain near our base pretty soon. I don't really want to bother gathering all of this metal from the top of this mountain, even though there's a ton of metal up here. It's a reasonably quick flight, but it's just a lot safer to get that all at home. Now, if you see that mountain in the distance, if you want to get the maximum amount of crystal, then that's a really good place to go for crystal. There's even more crystal over there and a lot more large crystal deposits. So that is a great place to go. That was the volcano that I showed you on the map at the beginning of this video. Now, in the next episode, I plan to take a Tapehara and Argent team all the way up to that volcano because I have a really cool trick which allows you to have virtually limitless stamina when you are riding on a Tapehara. It's a very fun trick, and I'll show you guys that in the next episode. So I got most of the crystal that I want. That should be enough for now, and I'll go ahead and grab some more metal while we're here since this is a rich metal deposit. So I'm just going to grab that before I head on back down, and we are still nowhere near overweight with these two dinosaurs since they have such a great weight carrying capacity. So you'll have to make shorter trips if you're using lower level dinos, but this is a pretty darn good team. So I think that's pretty good for our first run up to get some crystal, and I'm going to head back down the mountain and drop this off at the base. Now, another thing to keep in mind is sometimes when you have an Argentavis carrying another dino, it will eat up your stamina more quickly. And as far as I know, the closer you are to overweight, the faster your stamina depletes. So it's a very good idea to have your Argent not get too close to overweight because you may not have enough stamina to make it all the way back to your base. But so far so good. We've only got our Argent like 75% 100% full on weight because we've been putting nothing but weight into its stats ever since we tamed it. It already had almost 1,000 stamina, which was more than enough to fly pretty good distances, which is most of what we're going to use it for. Now, I've got a really cool trick where we can let this Argent fly across the entire map while it's not carrying something. But I'm going to show you that in the next episode where I take a Tapehara and Argent team all the way across the map, and that's going to be pretty helpful. It's going to be a really good trick you guys can use. So we are just about back to the base, and I'm going to drop off my Ankylosaur full of metal. And another cool thing about the design of our base is I made it so that we can easily offload all of the materials from a dinosaur if we just land here in the courtyard. So it's a lot easier to make sure we accurately drop the Ankylosaur in the right place if we just land right there. And I'm going to move this guy right up to the door, and all of our storage boxes are right behind this door, including the forges. So I've designed this base so I can park a dino there, pick up thousands of weight onto my inventory, and then I just close the door and load it right into the forge. I don't even have to drop it on the ground, which is super helpful. So we're going to offload the metal and crystal, and we will split this between the two forges, and I'm too overweight to move, so I've got to put it all into the forges, and then we'll light those up and get that smelting, and then I'm going to switch over to the Argent and offload all of the crystal. So I really hope this episode was helpful and taught you a lot of good tricks on Ark. If it was, please like this video, and please subscribe to our channel and enable notifications when you do. Ring that bell and it will tell you when the next video comes out, and drop a comment. I love hearing from you guys and hearing your feedback, and let me know if you have any additional tricks for getting great crystal or any cool spots. Give me the latitude and longitude that I can check out for where to find really good crystal deposits on the island in Ark. And if you want to watch more videos with me in them, my wife and I just started a Yoshi's Crafted World series that we play together on Nintendo Switch. We have a new channel called the Console Co-op Couple, where we play a lot of fun games together. It's very kid-friendly and family-friendly if you have any kids that like watching Let's Play videos on YouTube. And since the channel is brand new, it is still getting off the ground, so it would mean a whole lot to us if you guys jump over there and subscribe to the channel and show some support too. And as always, I really appreciate all of the support you guys give me over here on this channel. It has made this channel grow so much, and it's so rewarding to help you all enjoy your adventures on Ark. We will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching this video from the Ark Survival Guide. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more great guides like this one. Ark is an amazing game, but there is so much to learn before you can really enjoy it. We are dedicated to bringing you high-quality guides, tutorials, and Let's Play videos that are fun, helpful, clean, and suitable for the entire family. There's a tutorial in this series for everything we have done so far in this video. Check out these playlists for more episodes from this series and other guides to help you enjoy your journey on Ark.